Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Steinhagen here. I have your science experiment for you. What I did is I went to a farm and they had a barn like the one you see in the picture, and in that barn they had some chickens. Now those chickens had laid some eggs, and the lady there said I could take the eggs home and put them in a special warmer called an incubator. And after 3 weeks, she said if I'm really lucky and I take really good care of them, I might have 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 little chicks. Now I was going to have this incubator at school in our classroom, but since none of us can be there now, I have it in my home. So I will show you now the eggs. I have to walk to a different part of my house to find those eggs. And here they are. They're in a box. Can you see? There's 24 eggs. Remember, 12 eggs is a dozen. Remember we talked about how 12 is a dozen? Well, I have 12 plus 12 for my math friends, which is 24 eggs or 2 dozen, and you can count them. I hope you counted all 24 of those eggs. Right now they're just in a box. I had to keep them there for 24 hours. And in the box, you can see the egg is what we would almost think is upside down. The smaller end is pointed down. And I do that for 24 hours so that there's inside a little air bubble. And that little air bubble we want up at the top. So when the little chick is ready to be born, he has a little air spot that he can breathe. Just like we need air to breathe, the little chick has air inside his egg so that he can breathe. Now you'll probably notice they're all different colors. That's because the kind of chickens that laid these eggs were different kinds of chickens. Did you know there's different chickens? Some were white, some were black, some were red, and one was even kind of a greenish yellow color. The one kind was called a roux, another kind was an Easter egger, and I'll show you some pictures at some point too of the different chickens that laid these eggs. I'll probably do that next time. So if you look now, they've sat here for about 24 hours. I'm going to take, my next job is to clean them a little bit. I have to take each one of them and take some special paper. And this is this paper I'll use. And it's kind of a sandpaper, so it's kind of scratchy. And I have to rub on each egg, and I have to get them clean that way. Because you know what's on them? Some chicken poop. Yeah, there's a little bit of chicken poop on them yet, and I know that would make you laugh. But I do have to clean that. So I also have to make sure to clean my hands really good too. If you hear the dog barking, that's my dog Hazelnut. She's just wanting to be a part of the video. So I'm going to do that next and clean the eggs. After I get them all cleaned, I'm going to put them in the incubator. So the incubator is over here. I have it set up, and this is what it looks like. It's like a big white box. You can see that there. And it's been running now for about the same amount of time, like 24 hours, which is a day. 24 hours is a day. And it keeps the temperature, for those of you who like to know. The temperature is 99.6 degrees in there right now. And we want to keep it right at 99.5, which is almost 100 degrees in there. So it stays pretty hot, and the eggs have to stay pretty warm for 3 weeks. Now the humidity says it's 64%. See that little number up there? So that number there, that top number, we want to keep that between 50 and 55% humidity. Oh my goodness, what does that mean? Well, what it means is the air in there is 99 94.6, which is almost 100 degrees. But there's some moist air in there too. And the air is wet or moist because I put water in there. And I do that by opening it up and taking a little thing of water, looks like this, filling it up like so, and then there's channels, and you'll see a number 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, and channel 6. And I put a little water in each channel. The channel is like a little, how can I try it? Like a little row down in there where the water can sit, kind of like 6 little rivers or 6 little rows or little ditches. So that's where the water goes, so that the air stays moist or warm and wet. It has to have some wet air. So see all those little holes there? That's where I'm gonna put the eggs, but I can't put them there yet because I still have to clean the chicken poop off of them, don't I? And as soon as I get them in there, then I will show you. And where they set, this little thing, you'll see this little machine on it. You can kind of hear some machines running. That's the heat. And then the rocker. What this rocker does is it rocks them back and forth, so they just kind of go back and forth and rock, so that inside nothing sticks to the inside of the shells, because we don't want them to stick to the inside. So they rock back and forth, but it rocks so slow you can't even really see it. I was kind of moving my video fast, but the rocker is very, very slow. And this here, that shows, it keeps the temperature for us. That's all the wires that go up to the top. And that tells us right there what our temperature is. Now, we talked about that humidity being at 50 to 55%. Right now it's at 50, but I added more water, so it's gonna go up a little bit too high, higher than I want. So what I have to do when it gets too hot, I pull a plug. And that plug lets some air out. And then if it starts to get too low, I put the plugs back in and I add more water to make it moist again, okay? And I have to watch this for 3 weeks. That was supposed to be your job to do that too. So I'm very happy though that you can still be with me and help me take care of these eggs. And if we're lucky, we might just get to watch them peck their way right out of the shells and be little baby chicks. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see one come right out of the shell and be born. So that's what we're going to be doing. You have any questions, have mom or dad send me some messages. It's so hard with you not here to know what your questions are. So please have mom and dad send me a message, okay? Good luck, take care. I'll show you as soon as I get the eggs cleaned up and put in there. Bye now.